Good evening. Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm Clive Myrie. Now, just to be on the safe side after what happened at the Oscars, I've cut all the jokes about Ian's wife.
And I'm going to repeat the ones about Rishi Sunak's wife.
In the news this week, despite his regime change remarks pushing the world closer to Armageddon, White House officials insist that Joe Biden can still be trusted to lead the West forward. Interior designer Lulu Little decides she's waited long enough for her book of swatch samples to be returned. And on the outskirts of Kharkiv, as a Russian military convoy prepares to advance, the Ukrainian Highways Agency finds an effective new way to signal its disapproval. On Ian's team tonight is a journalist who once wrote an article called "What Happens When a Joke is Followed by Silence?" As Chris Rock can testify, it's not the worst thing that can happen. Please welcome Helen Lewis. And on Paul's team tonight is a comedian and fan of Chelsea Football Club who for years has wanted to shake Roman Abramovich's hand. That's fine, but I wouldn't touch his door handle right now. Please welcome Andy Hamilton. Now we begin with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and Helen, have a look at this.
Well, there's Vladimir Putin, a man who trusts all his advisors.
Anyone for chocolate biscuit? Oh, God.
There's a principal politician. And, yeah.
No fry zone.
There's
nowhere to go after that.
This is, of course, the war in Ukraine, which appears to be entering a new phase after negotiations between the Russians and
How would
Ukrainians.
you know?
It's a yes. How would I know? Good question, good question. I mean, how did the head of the Russian negotiations team explain the withdrawal of forces from around Kyiv?
It's a new phase of the war. It's
Yeah.
called defeat.
Yeah, he said Russia was reducing its combat operations to build trust. I'm sure that's worked well. OK, who was involved in the negotiations then?
Roman Abramovich, the former-ish owner of Chelsea, except he got poisoned in a way that sounded quite suspicious. So him and a couple of Ukrainian MPs woke up the next day with temporary loss of vision and peeling skin, which, as far as I know, happens to about 100,000 British holidaymakers every year.
So who asked him to be part of the negotiation?
Well, it is quite confusing because, I mean, about 2 weeks ago, he was someone who'd never met Putin, didn't like him, had no contact with him. Yesterday, he's the chief negotiator, is he? It does suggest that he might have been a bit of an oligarch all along, as opposed to a gracious benefactor of the noble game.
I knew this was going to happen. I knew, you know, every time I come on the show, all Ian wants to talk about is football, football, football. I mean, obviously, Chelsea fans, we are morally compromised in the sense that we chose to ignore any ethical issues and just enjoyed the rewards, which is exactly what everyone else did. In that sense, Chelsea are a metaphor for, you know, for the whole of Britain, all the bankers and the brokers who...
Not for the whole of Britain.
Well,
though,
all right, all the rich end of Britain, all the bankers and the brokers.
So it's the bankers, the lawyers, the hedge fund managers,
the estate
agents and you.
Well, going back to Helen, because you were absolutely right. According to the investigative website Bellingcat, he was poisoned, Mr. Abramovich. Both Ukraine and Russia actually deny the poisoning story, although according to the staff for future negotiations, they've been warned not to eat or drink anything and to stay away from hobnobs. Or as the BBC has asked us to pronounce it, hiob-nyobs. Hiob-nyobs.
I mean, the thing that puzzles me from that footage, though, I mean, the latest thing that we're hearing from sort of all the armchair generals is that Putin is receiving false reports. He's listening to false reports from his advisors. But when you look at the length of that table, I'm not sure he'd even be able to hear them.
Yes.
I think they employ pigeons on roller skates.
Yeah. But that's Lavrov in his foreign minister.
Yeah.
His foreign minister. And he's about, I don't know, 600 yards away from him.
But actually what you can't see is the table opens up in the middle and turns into a shark pool.
And in another story, did you hear how a woman in a block of flats is reported to have brought down a Russian drone? What did she use?
Knitting.
You're not a million miles off, mate.
Oh, no, you're
A washing line.
A jar of pickled cucumbers. It's true.
How is that not a million miles away from knitting?
Sort of domestic. You know.
How did she bring it down?
She chucked it at it.
Oh, really?
Just a jar, not cucumber by cucumber.
No, it was a jar. It was a jar. It was a big jar. It was a drone.
You see, that's the last thing Putin would have been expecting.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did a Basildon man try to remove all the bottles of Russian standard vodka from the shelves of his local Sainsbury's?
He was going to a party in Downing Street.
Not quite. Not quite. He claimed he was doing it to help the Ukrainians by limiting the sale of Russian vodka, although the staff did explain that our Russian standard vodka is made and bottled entirely in the UK. The Ukrainians have conducted a very good propaganda campaign against the Russians. They seem to be winning that war. Do you remember the Russian warship of Snake Island? Remember
Yes.
the story? Yeah, what is the story?
Well, it was a very brave band of Ukrainians who were defending the island.
Were initially reported to have died, and I believe they said something. I know they swore.
The 13 soldiers guarding Snake Island on the Black Sea were thought to have all died defending the island against bombardment from a Russian warship, which had issued an ultimatum to the soldiers to surrender or be destroyed. One of the guards replied with the message, "Russian warship, go fuck yourself." Now, it was revealed recently that the soldiers were all captured alive and recently released back into Ukraine. To commemorate this, the Ukrainian Post Office released this stamp.
To be fair, it's an odd name for a Russian warship, isn't it? Beats McBoatface in the second place.
The good news is that the world is still intact. Sure. We're all still here.
Well, you don't know, there's the repeat.
Yeah.
Right.
If the globe is wiped out via a nuclear holocaust, won't you look silly?
Boris Johnson has been accused of sailing a bit close to the wind in his eagerness to arm the Ukrainians. Did you see this?
So strengthening the quills of the Ukrainian porcupine as to make it in future indigestible to the Russian invaders.
Yeah. Newsnight's Nick Watt did not know what to say. Who else has been accused by the Russians of escalating tensions in the early part of the war?
Liz Truss.
It was Liz Truss, yeah. Kremlin spokesman said statements were made by various representatives on possible clashes between NATO and Russia. I would not call the authors of these statements by name, although it was the British Foreign Minister. President Macron of France has been keen to portray himself as a big player on the world stage, so he must be disappointed with how that's going.
Oh,
well,
he put a hoodie on and everything.
He's been allegedly trying to look like President Zelensky.
Oh, we've got an allegedly in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Macron's lawyers. Are they going to come in?
Yeah, this is how he normally looks. Yeah, he is. And this is how he's been looking recently.
Look at the eyebrow.
Would you like to see our Prime Minister displaying his magnetism with some other world leaders?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Here he is.
That's Britain declaring a no-mate zone.
Which of Boris's acquaintances have embarrassed him recently?
Evgeny Lebedev.
That's right.
Who was given a peerage very soon after Boris Johnson took over, and now the House of Lords committee said maybe he shouldn't have done. The security services were worried about him.
Yeah. Lord Lebedev, the son of a KGB oligarch and owner of various newspapers, Boris Johnson denies getting involved in security discussions over Lebedev's elevation to the House of Lords.
The suggestion was that Lebedev was a security risk, you know, and that's why he shouldn't be a peer. But I can think of a lot of other reasons he shouldn't be a peer. I mean, he just supported Boris. He owned newspapers and supported him in the mayoral election, which looks like corruption. Isn't, obviously.
The thing I like about Lebedev is he sounds like a conversation between Bill and Ben, the flower pot.
Yeah.
He originally wanted his title to be Lord Lebedev of Moscow.
I'd have gone for Lord Lebedev of Levered. I mean, if you're going to start with a silly name, see it all the way through.
How has the leader of the opposition responded to all this about Lebedev?
Lebedev.
Well, he sent an embarrassing message of congratulations.
The problem now, I suspect, is that he's demanding an inquiry into the handling of all of this, and he sent a stern message to Lebedev after he was appointed to the Lords saying, congratulations on your elevation.
That doesn't say peerage. Maybe it's maybe he saw some architect's drawings or something. You know, it could be anything, couldn't it?
Well, Lebedev is well known for his lavish parties, to which he has invited the great and the good.
I believe there is a rumour that once the glamour model Jordan, properly known as Katie Price, attended one, sat next to Boris Johnson and did what is her career-defining trick of getting her breasts out.
Get your tits out for the Vlads.
I'm not surprised you should say that, because Katie Price has form when it comes to embarrassing respected members of the establishment.
The amazing thing about that
makes
photograph
sense.
is how it's made Ian's tie horizontal, what she's doing.
Do you fancy seeing what Kim Jong-un's been getting up to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah,
Let's
I think
see
so.
someone sane for a change.
Indeed. He's released a video of North Korea's recent test missile launch with slick Hollywood production values. Here it is.
Thunderbirds are go.
Yes, this is the shocking news that continues to come out of Ukraine. Vladimir Putin immediately regrets telling unfriendly countries they'll have to pay for their gas in rubles after Martin Lewis gets everyone to send Putin a meter reading at the same time. Because of Lord Lebedev's family links with the KGB, some are concerned that he might be a sleeper agent. That's right, some lords have been asleep for the last 3 years.
Is it just me, or given how grim all the news has been in that first section,
Yeah.
you're starting to feel like the five of us are like the support act that went on just before the band on the Titanic? Like relentlessly grim.
No, I was just thinking there should be a musical, like Mary Poppins singing Lord Lebedev, Lord Lebedev, Lebedev.
Have you been affected badly by the lockdown? Good.
Paul and Andy,
Yeah.
take a look at this.
Yes. Is a happy man filling up his petrol with his car with petrol.
He's been heckled. Oh my God!
Human
Michael
game
Gove
of
put
chess.
on weight.
I'm never going to be able to unsee that. Boris answering to the police, that's a first.
Yeah.
Can we see that again?
No,
Because
no.
that is...
No,
Seriously,
I've started and I have finished.
that is not dancing, is it? That's like something you'd see on a David Attenborough programme.
What does the lightsaber signify?
Yeah, that's a good
I don't
question.
know.
We've all been wondering that.
I think it's a cattle prod to keep him 5 feet away.
It's Boris announcing, I am your father, everyone. What I like about the police report is, were there any parties at number 10? If only there was a policeman outside number 10 who could have seen what was going on. Well, how long does it
Excuse me,
take
sir,
to
would
ask
you
him?
mind telling me why your suitcase is rattling?
What was Boris Johnson doing on the day the Metropolitan Police issued the first batch of fines for illegal Downing Street parties?
What was he doing?
He was having a party. More than 100 Conservatives were invited to the Park Plaza Hotel in Westminster for a knees-up. Number 10 said it was the first time since the 2019 general election that the PM had been able to invite his MPs to a social event because of COVID restrictions. So he told Parliament there were no parties and no rules were broken. So has he misled Parliament?
Yes, he has. Next.
Many MPs feel now is not the time for a change of Prime Minister. So that's disappointing for those thought to have been positioning themselves for a leadership biz.
That's power. She's trying to communicate power. And she's standing in front of the Ukrainian flag, so she's trying to imply that she has shot down a drone with some cucumbers.
And that is a disgrace.
Meanwhile, what's going on here? We've talked about that. Chancellor Rishi Sunak showing that he knows how to fill a car with petrol. But what later emerged?
It wasn't his car.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly. It wasn't his car. He borrowed it from a Sainsbury's employee. Even more embarrassing, it was electric. All right, we're going to move on because I think we should have a quick game of bastard, bully, bore or buffoon. Just to break the ice. Fingers on buzzers. Right, here's the first one. Bastard, bully, bore or buffoon.
Buffoon.
Oh, and bastard.
A buffoon and bastard.
Yeah.
The double B.
That's 2 points, because that's Peter Hebblethwaite, who is the chief exec of P&O.
Yeah. Yep.
And he appeared before Parliament and he said that, yes, he had broken the law, but his defence was that he thought he'd get away with it.
Yeah. And also...
He should be in government, really.
Yeah, exactly. And
Wasted
also,
at P&O.
he's got a personal problem because he's radioactive.
This is the boss of P&O Ferries, Peter Hebblethwaite, who has admitted that P&O broke employment law by firing 800 workers over Zoom. So what reason did Mr. Hebblethwaite give for not consulting the unions before sacking their employees?
He didn't want to.
Yeah, he said there's absolutely no doubt that we were required to consult with the unions, but we chose not to do so because no union would have accepted it. So what happened when the Conservative MP for Dover, Natalie Elphick, who herself voted in favour of firing and rehiring, went to join the protest against the sackings?
They started chanting at it, didn't they?
Yeah, well, we can have a look
Yeah.
and just guess if you can spot the moment she realised she was leading the chants against herself.
Oh. Oh, dear.
And finally, bastard, bully, bore or buffoon.
All of the above. That is Gavin Williamson, who received a peerage for being the worst
No,
education...
knighthood.
Oh, worse, a knighthood.
No.
That's bad.
I mean, he's not a Russian oligarch, for God's sake.
Yes. How did number 10 try to justify the knighthood?
Did they even try and justify it?
I think you might be right there. They said it is very hard to justify. But that was off the record. This is the news that the Metropolitan Police have issued the first wave of fines over the Downing Street parties. One senior police officer told The Times that the Met were wrong for not revealing the names of senior policymakers who broke the COVID rules, adding, "We are not talking about Mrs. Miggins of Acacia Avenue." To which Mr. Miggins replied, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." Some Tory MPs are still saying the party investigation is a waste of police resources and the Met needs to get back to what it does best, WhatsApping racist and sexist abuse to each other.
Have you given up the news reading then, Clive?
The former Education Minister Gavin Williamson has been awarded a knighthood. This brings the whole honours system into disrepute, said Lord Lebedebedev. Lebedebedev.
Satire.
Yeah.
After delivering his spring statement, Rishi Sunak was pictured filling up a car with petrol. The press instantly twigged that it wasn't Sunak's car, as the driver's side had no booster seat. And so to round two, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on the buzzers, teams.
The whalers are reforming. Son of the Prince of Wales, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let it go. Let it go.
There's the Caribbean tour of William and Kate, which had a lot of protests and was rather awkward.
There were a number of photo ops that led critics to describe the couple as tone deaf. What were they?
There was one which was meant to be a tribute to the Queen, which they posed in a Range Rover, looking like something out of a 1950s film.
There they are.
But I think people thought maybe they should have done something a bit more modern. Turned up in an Uber.
I mean, William and Kate, they were also at Prince Philip's memorial on Tuesday. Prince Andrew, who was allowed to leave the naughty step in order to walk the Queen down the aisle in his first public outing since he paid off Virginia Giuffre with £12 million.
They finally found a use for Andrew. No one knew what to do with him, and he's now officially a walking stick.
Here's the stick.
Oh,
there he is. I mean,
I think it's very wrong to compare Prince Andrew to a walking stick. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Well, a walking stick is strong, straight and dependable. I mean...
Was it a well-judged move, do you think, putting Andrew centre stage?
Now, she might be saying, listen, Andy, it's all good in the past. You come along a minute, you know what I mean? You come along, I'll have the walking stick, don't really need it. You be the other side, we'll be all right, sweet as a couple of beans in a pod.
The royal correspondent Peter Hunt said Andrew's appearance reopens the whole can of worms about his judgment. Well, was that can ever not open?
No.
I mean, that's the question, really.
I mean, the only possibility is that she didn't know he was that she was entering the church and suddenly he sprung out and said, "Here, mummy, I'll take your arm." And she just thought, oh, I'm here now.
Maybe. What about the Queen's Jubilee service coming up? Do you think he's going to be there?
Yes, apparently he's joining in that too.
Yeah.
I don't know, he's leading a conga, is he?
Yeah, I mean, this is what could be the last ever royal tour of the Caribbean. The tour was dogged by non-stop controversy, making it the most misjudged royal trip to a Caribbean island since Prince Andrew last visited Jeffrey Epstein. Wills and Kate attended a memorial to Prince Philip just days after returning from a controversial, gaff-laden tour of the Caribbean. Well, it's what he would have wanted. Fingers on the buzzers, teams. Ian.
There was a story in the paper about people don't like Shakespeare when it's delivered in a Yorkshire accent.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the pies and the dog are doing.
It's a Yorkshire Terrier.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Yorkshire pudding,
Yorkshire
isn't it?
pudding. I think it's a collection of stereotypes
Yes.
put into a picture.
They were worried we wouldn't realise
we
there was
wouldn't
a
know what
Yorkshire
Yorkshire meant.
connection. Yeah.
Yorkshire tea, that's a clue
Yes.
there, isn't there?
Maybe they thought we wouldn't notice
Yorkshire
that.
Terrier, flat cap, got to be Yorkshire.
One theatregoer was furious that the production by the Northern Broadsides Theatre Company, based in Halifax, in West Yorkshire,
Yeah.
featured actors with Yorkshire accents.
This is a national story about one person in a theatre not liking a production.
Yeah.
Blimey, I must write in more often.
I saw a production of Othello once, Lenny Henry as Othello, that was played by a Yorkshire theatre group, and it was all Yorkshire accents. It was brilliant.
And he spoke with a Midland accent
Yeah.
anyway.
To be or not to be?
Aye.
That's the question.
Better not be noble in the morning, just sort of slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, which part of the country has Gordon Ramsay offended?
Oh, I don't know.
Cornwall.
Ah, yes, Cornwall, after he was criticised by locals for spending time in his second house in Cornwall during lockdown. Ramsay told the Radio Times, "I love Cornwall, but I can't stand the Cornish." Luckily, he only goes in the summer when there aren't any Cornish people there. Finally, why did one disgruntled couple in Hull want a refund for a comedy show that they were due to attend?
Well, this is one couple not liking a comedy show. Bloody hell.
One couple.
Don't get any ideas.
Yeah. They wanted a refund for their tickets to the show due to take place in Blackpool.
Yeah.
Because of the events in Russia and Ukraine, making it unsafe to travel.
What route were they taking?
The long way round.
Yeah. We can save 50 quid if we go via St. Petersburg.
After the club offered to reschedule their tickets, the couple replied, "I do not want that, because I don't know how long this will go on for. No one knows. Nowhere in the terms and conditions does it say anything about no refunds for a war." This is the theatre girl who complained about Shakespeare's As You Like It being performed in Yorkshire by a Yorkshire company with Yorkshire accents. To be fair, being staged in Yorkshire, the rest of the audience demanded their money back, and they loved it.
Blimey. I'm on tour this week. I'm in Leeds this week, and I'm in Halifax, so I've just nothing to
You're
do
in
with me,
trouble.
that joke.
You're in trouble, man. You're in trouble. A couple from Hull tried to claim a refund from a comedy club in Blackpool because the war in Ukraine made them too scared to travel. The club manager said, "As far as we're aware, Russia hasn't invaded Hull yet." Yes, it is difficult to tell. Right, time now for the odd one out round. Ian and Helen, your four are the spinning studio in the Houses of Parliament, the Duke of York Stakes horse race, midget gems, and 10,600 items of Platinum Jubilee commemorative china.
Well, I'm going to start from the fact that they are renaming what I can only say was called something like the John Bercow Memorial Rowing Machine in the House of Commons after he was found guilty of bullying several employees at the House of Commons, right? I'm presuming that the Duke of York Stakes is now renamed the £12 million payout for fraternising with the sex offender stakes.
No, it's now called the Pizza Express Challenge. This china has got a misprint on it. Instead of saying the Queen's Jubilee, it says the Queen's Jubbly.
Referring to how she speaks earlier on, is inside knowledge. A little bit of jubbly, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And I'm presuming that midget gems, after heavy lobbying by Rishi Sunak, are going to be renamed.
I was unaware that Rishi Sunak was considered to be small. What height is he?
He's very wee, and he's done a brilliant thing, which is that he's also very thin. So he looks entirely like a normal-sized person, but you've put in Photoshop and then taken down to 80%.
Yeah, they've all changed their name, apart
From the Jubbly, which was a mistake.
Exactly, the Platinum Jubilee crockery, which hasn't changed despite a spelling error. This is what it is. Marks and Spencers have recently decided to change the name of midget gems, as the term is now regarded as offensive. Do you know what they'll be called instead?
Rishis.
They're going to be known as mini gem. According to an M&S spokesperson, the new mini gems are being rolled out to stores. Fair enough, with the price of diesel, that's probably the best way to get them. Why is the Duke of York Stakes looking to change its name?
I wonder why.
James Brennan, a spokesperson for York Racecourse, said, "In the current news cycle, the name has become a distraction." Imagine being so unpopular that an event where participants can get shot in the head and dragged off to a dog food factory doesn't want to be associated with you anymore. In 2015, the Cycle Studio in the House of Commons gym was named after John Bercow, but following the bullying report, the plaque dedicated to him has been removed. It said, John Bercow's behaviour fell below standards the public expect from politicians.
Blimey.
What sort of behaviour was it then?
He shouted at people.
Yeah.
And I think he pretty much made people cry. He made people want to resign, leave their jobs. I mean, I think it was very unpleasant to work for.
But he's very short as well, isn't he? So he might have been shouting because they couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. He was accused of calling a colleague fucking stupid.
Which colleague? And then we...
That's... Also, that's out of context. That might be an affectionate nickname.
Yeah.
That might be a compliment in this cabinet.
Anyway, John Bercow has done the weakest link. Did anyone see it? Yeah, let's have a look.
Look at your screen. This is a skeleton of which extinct mammal?
It's got tusks,
A
John.
dinosaur.
Incorrect mammoth.
Not a mammal.
Kelly.
It's a mammoth, isn't it?
It was a mammoth, yeah. It was a...
Yeah, no, I think we knew that, Ian.
They've all changed their name, apart from 10,000 pieces of royal memorabilia, which have been made with a spelling mistake, celebrating the Platinum Jubilee. Marks & Spencer have renamed midget gems mini gems after complaints that the term midget was offensive. In a statement, Marks & Spencer said they were committed to being an inclusive retailer, adding that their products are aimed at all members of society, except poor people, of course. Paul and Andy, your four are actor Will Smith, former US President Andrew Jackson, Conservative MP Johnny Mercer, and the broadcaster Bernard Levin.
Well, the immediate clue is, of course, Will Smith being there, but also Bernard Levin in the bottom right-hand corner. So there's a famous bit of footage from That Was the Week That Was, early 60s, where he's sitting on a stool talking to a studio audience, and a rather drunk man walks into him and says, Mr. Levin, would you mind standing up for a moment? And Bernard Levin stands up and he says, your review of the whatever the play was, and he tries to hit him, and there's a bit of a scuffle and stuff. So it's obviously about people hitting somebody that they don't like. Now, Andrew Jackson was very annoyed because he wasn't allowed to have his photograph taken in colour, and he was furious. I would say that Bernard Levin's probably the odd one out because he was the one that was hit and all the others hit somebody else.
Absolutely right. Levin had written a bad review about a show his wife had appeared in, and Desmond took the opportunity during an appearance on That Was the Week That Was, as you said, to take revenge. Let's have a look.
Would you stand up a second? Mr. Levin, your review of Savagery and the Light was not a review.
Please,
it was a vicious attack.
Yes, it may well have been, but would you mind going back?
There's just one tiny thing to be done.
But it just shows you the British, even in physical violence, they're very polite.
Yes.
Could you
mind standing up for a moment?
Offer your chin, please.
But also, I love just one tiny thing.
Yes.
Like this.
Will Smith's reaction to host comedian Chris Rock's joke at the expense of his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, became the talking point of this year's Oscars ceremony. All rather awkward.
Well, because he won Best Actor because he wasn't really annoyed at that bit.
At the beginning, there was some speculation about whether what we'd witnessed was real. And the answer to that is, it's the Oscars. None of it is real. It ends with that thing, I am a work in progress. I mean, you try that in the real world, you know, you're stopped for speeding. I'm sorry, officer, yes, I was doing 90 miles per hour, but I'm work in progress.
I mean, everyone had an opinion, didn't they? And we've all got opinions on it. Liam Payne, the former One Directioner, he had an opinion too.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I believe whatever he felt that he did, he had the right to do. I also felt there were 3 losers in one fight. He didn't know, being Chris Rock. He didn't want to do what he had to do, being Will Smith. And she did nothing, being Jada. But I had to leave my chair, I'll be honest with you. It cut me really deep. We got to watch the world's best emoter ever speak from the heart. I've seen him in every situation, in every film he's ever done. And when he cries, I cry. When he laughs, I laugh. And it's a beautiful moment.
I mean, when did he become Dutch?
When he cries, I cry. When he laughs, I laugh. When he hits people, I hit people.
And that's...
I mean, actors, honestly.
He was probably the first one on his feet as well. I mean, what was...
Hang on a minute, that was Liam Payne.
Who was that?
Liam Payne.
Liam.
Who's he?
From a popular...
One Direction.
Yeah.
Oh, even worse.
All right. How did the US President Andrew Jackson step up to the plate to defend his wife's honour?
Surely a duel.
Got it. Unbeknownst to her, Rachel Jackson was still legally married when she wed Andrew in 1791 because her first husband hadn't properly obtained a divorce. Andrew Jackson, therefore, had to fight off repeated claims of bigamy and adultery, taking part in 103 duels.
How many of those did he win?
He was once shot so close to the heart that the bullet could never be removed. According to his biography, Jackson was so frequently wounded in duels that he rattled like a bag of marbles. OK, what did the MP Johnny Mercer do to defend his wife that threw ridicule?
I don't know.
I believe he posted... Actually, he tweeted to say, "Did you call my wife a prostitute in the comments section of the Plymouth Herald?"
My word. Mercer went viral in 2018 after replying to someone on Twitter who he believed had made an unpleasant comment in a local paper. He tweeted, "I'll give you one chance at honesty. Did you insinuate my wife was a prostitute on the Plymouth Herald's comments section?" Sadly, the tweeter didn't respond, so we'll never know. They've all defended their wife's honour, apart from Bernard Levin, who was punched in the face by a man defending his wife's honour. As the incident unfolded at the Oscars on Sunday, eyebrows were raised. But that's Botox for you. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Chalk Dust, the magazine for people who love maths. And we start with David Cameron finds what in his what?
Is it margarine in his underpants?
David Cameron finds a set of handcuffs in his hotel room.
Really? The police are actually onto it?
In an article about his recent trip to Poland, David Cameron described finding a pair of handcuffs in his hotel room in Eindhoven. Next, mathematical equation proves that cows what?
Can be divided by pi.
Oh.
Pi day.
Mathematical equation proves that cows have a maximum size. This is from the Chalk Dust magazine's diary column. Sorry, dairy column. Next, Royal Horticultural Society will finally email instead of what?
Oh, it's snail mail.
Not quite. Communicate electronically.
Is email not an electronic communication?
They call it communicating electronically rather than email. It's actually a separate thing.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm learning so much this evening. She's seen that, you're sure?
Yeah.
This was actually announced by the...
That's enough for 1 week. Enough for 1 week.
Yeah, my mind can't handle more than that.
No.
Yeah. This was actually announced by the RHS president, Keith Weed. Every year they try to get rid of him, but he just keeps coming. Next, the obvious answer to what is yes.
The obvious answer to were you at the party?
The obvious answer to will this article ever end is yes. I mean, it's obvious, really, isn't it? I mean, according to Chalk Dust magazine, questions like this can spark an interesting discussion. Not tonight. Next, what no longer considered too rude for what?
Whoopee cushions.
Whoopee cushions.
Yes.
No longer considered too rude for royal funerals.
Yeah. Vulgar fractions no longer considered too rude for mathematicians.
Yeah.
It was a good joke. I know it confuses people when I say something clever, but you've got to live with it.
Charles Dickens no longer considered too rude for TikTok. It's outrageous that the name Dickens was banned by TikTok for being too rude, said the head of the Charles Dickens Museum, Willie Coxblodge.
What is going on? Amazing to see somebody's reputation sink.
Dear BBC, I was appalled to see the voice of the nation talking about someone called Willie Coxblodge.
Yours sincerely, Mrs. Willie Coxblodge.
Finally, Cotswold town terrorised by 2 what?
+2 = 4.
2
Squirrels.
terrorised by 2 enormous prime numbers.
Yeah.
No. Chihuahuas.
What?
Oh, chihuahuas?
Chihuahuas. Yeah. 2 chihuahuas are reported to be running riot in the Cotswold town of Corsham, prompting calls from locals for the dogs to be destroyed. I'm not sure how you put down a chihuahua. Maybe you say, "You're tiny, you little shit."
What's going on? This used to be a respectable show. Until the BBC News got their talons into it.
Dear, oh dear, what can I say?
Well, you can not say that. For
So the final scores
Here is the 10 o'clock news, fuckwits.
The final scores are Ian and Helen have 7 points, and Paul and Andy, you've got 6.
Hey, it's a win.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Why do you keep coming?
It's the Queen saying, "I gather you haven't got very long."
What a fag.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Helen Lewis, Paul Merton and Andy Hamilton. And I leave you with the news that after their catastrophic tour of the Caribbean, William and Kate have a marginally more pleasant experience during a visit to a sewage plant in Rotherham. In another barnstorming speech, Joe Biden gives 2 reasons why Putin will never win the war in Ukraine. And then Westminster Abbey tempers rise in a heated discussion about who has to sit next to Andrew. Good night.
Was it Jonah Louis who did that song?
Stop the Cavalry.
That's what I was thinking of. It's bugging me the whole programme.
Everybody's waiting for you to break down. Everybody's watching to see the fallout. Even when you're sleeping, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. So here you are, 2 steps ahead and staying on guard. Every lesson forms a new scar. They never thought you'd make it this far. But turn around, oh, they've surrounded you, it's a showdown. And nobody comes to save you now, but you've got something they don't. Yeah, you've got something they don't. You just gotta keep your eyes open. Everybody's waiting for you to break down. Everybody's watching.
Keeps coming. Next, the obvious answer to what is yes.
The obvious answer to were you at the party?
The obvious answer to will this article ever end is yes. I mean, it's obvious, really, isn't it? I mean, according to Chalk Dust magazine, questions like this can spark an interesting discussion. Not tonight. Next, what no longer considered too rude for what?
Whoopee cushions.
Whoopee cushions.
Yes.
No longer considered too rude for royal funerals.
Yeah. Vulgar fractions no longer considered too rude for mathematicians.
Yeah.
It was a good joke. I know it confuses people when I say something clever, but you've got to live with it.
Charles Dickens no longer considered too rude for TikTok. It's outrageous that the name Dickens was banned by TikTok for being too rude, said the head of the Charles Dickens Museum, Willie Coxblodge.
What is going on? It's amazing to see somebody's reputation sink.
Dear BBC, I was appalled to see the voice of the nation talking about someone called Willie Coxblodge.
Yours sincerely, Mrs. Willie Coxblodge.
Finally, Cotswold town terrorised by two what?
Plus 2 equals 4.
Two
Squirrels.
terrorised by two enormous prime numbers.
Yeah.
No. Chihuahuas.
What? Oh, chihuahuas?
Chihuahuas. Yeah. Two chihuahuas are reported to be running riot in the Cotswold town of Corsham, prompting calls from locals for the dogs to be destroyed. I'm not sure how you put down a chihuahua. Maybe you say, "You're tiny, you little shit."
What's going on? This used to be a respectable show. Until the BBC News got their talons into it.
Dear, oh dear, what can I say?
Well, you can not say that. For
So the final scores
Here is the 10 o'clock news, fuckwits.
The final scores are Ian and Helen have 7 points, and Paul and Andy, you've got 6.
Hey, it's a win.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Why do you keep coming?
It's the Queen saying, "I gather you haven't got very long."
What a fag.
On which note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Helen Lewis, Paul Merton and Andy Hamilton. And I leave you with the news that after their catastrophic tour of the Caribbean, William and Kate have a marginally more pleasant experience during a visit to a sewage plant in Rotherham. In another barnstorming speech, Joe Biden gives 2 reasons why Putin will never win the war in Ukraine. And then Westminster Abbey tempers rise in a heated discussion about who has to sit next to Andrew. Good night.
Was it Jonah Louis who did that song?
Stop the Cavalry.
That's what I was thinking of. It's bugging me the whole programme.